You don't have to sit around and watch it. I'm just curious. You might see something interesting. This mouse feels a little sensitive here. Oh, that's right. I need to open my razor snaps, I think, to make this work right. Also, if you have the sound on, you're going to be listening to me breathe the whole time inside my suit. No, it feels a little bit better. I feel floaty, though. Definitely looks like
Smithsonian channel landing on.
What are you talking about, my Twitch?
Oh no, it's an ad. This ad supports Twitch. What if I don't support this fucking ad? Pretty darn good.
Now I gotta re-get my bearings. Nope. Nope.
So everybody's become a hunter now.
Damn, this tank is hot.
146. Wow. 1 megapascal.
You can see I got actually, it doesn't even work, and it's weird because the tank itself, you can see like X. I have 1,000 moles, 1K moles. Nitrogen, I have 109 moles. Hydrogen, 19. Carbon dioxide, 621. And then, but then the pump works in liters. You know, like my valves here. You know that I got open. You know, I can close them. What sucks, the biggest thing about this game, right, is if I open this here, you can see I have all these tools. I got a wrench, crowbar, drill, welder, screwdriver, angle grinder, and wire cutters. You have to actually, like, micromanage these things into your hand to be able to use them.
That sucks.
I think we were trying to work on building a greenhouse here. That's what we're working on. We need water to do that. Not much, though.
Ah, yes, but he got shot. But the doctor sure is getting a lot of practice.
How do I want to do this? Wait, I did make that. I want to see if that recipe's out yet. Nope. Auto lathe? You're right.
So he's got construction level 5 now.
Ladder, locker, recycler. I think that recycler's new.
Come on, no brain shots.
Chemistry station. Fuck is a chemistry station?
Ah, I got shot. Go on, hunt.
You can actually build like a spaceship in this game too, like that flies around.
Cool. Fuck, boys.
It's the number 4 head. It's easy. I mean, that makes sense.
So then with your electronics, do you build circuits and stuff?
So like you have these basic cables here, and then you can bring those in. If I come up over here, this is kind of like an example. So these are just like logic memories here, and one of them has a set value. The other one gets read and wrote to, I believe. I'm pretty sure this one's value should change as the day progresses. Well, that doesn't appear to be working at the moment. Oh, they updated this texture. That looks nice. Oh, you know what? I think their update might have broken my game. We'll see. At least my what I have for right now. We can fix this temporarily. Hopefully we can figure it out before the sun sets.
Power low.
Man, they've made a lot of changes.
Melee attack squirrel.
Unrecognized instruction at line 5. That's it.
Ma Kibble brings all the animals to the yard. Oh, he bit me in the face. Damn. That's the spirit.
Jetpack on.
Who else we got up? Run away!
Be right back.
Fucking goof walks right over the brick. I want to relax socially. Oh. Yeah. Damn it.
So what do they do now?
Maybe a raccoon, maybe a gopher, maybe the neighbor's kids.
Apparently Chrono's playing this game right now.
It's possible.
Oh god. Okay. Okay, I guess. What is this? Okay, cool. No iron. Yeah, no iron, huh?
It is pretty much time for me to put them back in the spot.
Kit radiator, kit tank, kit port scrubber, kit pipe. Pipe label, passive vent, hydroponic tray, gas mixer, digital valve, active vent. definitely want that. Yeah, that might have enough power. That might not. Is Chrono like busy? I'm gonna message him, see if he's playing.
Yeah, I don't know what he's up to.
I spelled I butchered friend. Take this out.
Did you install a new patio door?
No, that's inside my house. That separates my dining room from my living room.
You have a double French door separating your dining room from your living room?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Let's see if this even will work. Oh, look at the pretty 3D printer. Oh god. Okay, it worked. Yeah, I think we... So you can see here, Milan, you know, when you take your time to look either to your right or left, whichever way your TV is.
Mm.
Load.
Right.
So all this up here is going to be glass. Eventually this will be floored in, but I have it open so I can run piping and electrical. And then they'll fill that in. This is going to be my greenhouse. Basically the first thing you have to do in this game is set up a greenhouse. Otherwise you'll run out of food and die.
You run out of dye and die.
Ooh, is that a new feature? I really hope it is. So in previous versions of the game, so what I'm looking at right now, I'm holding my vent, but this thing I was looking at was a frame. In previous versions, in order to get things like to go, like you see here, this is. Hold on. What is it? No, I'm freaking out.
Right.
Right. So before I'd have to weld that frame together to be able to put this and then unweld the frame to work behind it. Now it seems like... Oh, I'm doing emotes now.
Now it's easier.
It seems like it. I need to change my settings though. Because those seem to have gotten reset. They make the keys for rotating shit retarded. So let's see. Left. Right. What else is keypad on? Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah.
Up would be 6. Down would be 3. Roll would be 4. 5. Right. So yeah, thinking like this here. Now, is the fancy solar panels working? No, because it's off. Now she works. Okay, she works. They really did a nice job with this texture here, I gotta say.
That's cool.
But yeah, my little circuit here, I got distracted. This is like a batch writer, so it takes in data and I can tell it to like have an input and output variable and then an output type. So basically this batch writer, all it does is it takes in a data, it takes in a variable, which it's pulling from one of the memories, and I say it to write vertical setting, and write that to all the solar panels.
Right.
So you know, this is just setting it up so my solar panels automatically track the sun. For at max efficiency, 100%, they generate 500 watts on the moon, because there's no atmosphere. On other planets, you know, like Europa and stuff like that, their efficiency is much less. And then these two sensors here just track the position of the sun. And then this circuitry here is actually saying like, hey, you know, once your efficiency dips to a X level, you know, adjust. It's to basically constantly doing math. But the cool thing I like about the program I have is a lot of them, once the sun sets below the horizon, the solar panels will just stop. My solar panels that I have, when the sun sets below the horizon, they'll restart, so they're already in position for the next day.
Oh, okay. So they reset their position.
To basically where they'll be set up so that when the sun rises, they'll be pointed at it. There's guns in this game too. You know, I'm guessing that's eventually going to be what they look at doing. But I guess another passive vent, 2 or 1? 2? No, it should just be 1. This should just be a normal airlock. Yeah. God, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet.
That's
Well,
my doctor. He shouldn't be doing this.
okay, so I'm thinking from there to there. And then over here as well. So yeah, there's all like power and everything. And these thin cables I'm working with can only handle 5 kilowatts.
Right.
And there's a heavier cable that can handle 50 kilowatts. And then anything beyond that, you have to put on separate lines. I'm thinking, yeah, this definitely has to be a future. Oh yeah, it definitely has to be.
What's a feature?
Where you don't have to weld the frames in. Like I can, like, sure, this item is that thing is floating right now. But like before, like here, let me show you what you'd have to do to like before. Do I have what I need?
You'd have to tack weld it in place.
Well, it's just a lot of like micro. Let's see if I can move this without killing myself.
Without killing yourself.
Well, I have problems with these crates where they'll hit the ground and then like glitch and then like smack me, and then like explode my suit because my suit will take too much damage, and then because I'm in a vacuum, it doesn't work well for me. I think I just need
Bummer.
some iron sheets. No, but, get to play this game. Iron there, that there. Turn the machine on. Iron sheets. Alright, so here's what you'd have to do. So you'd have to pull out your welding torch, press the button to turn the welding torch on because it has an internal fuel reservoir. Then you'd have to construct the frame. So now this frame right here is airtight, right? And then then you'd put down, you know, whatever you wanted to put down, and then you would have to pull out a wrench to deconstruct it back down so you can actually get inside and run the wiring. Because you couldn't free float the wiring and piping and stuff, so you'd have to put the thing down as like an anchor point for the wires or piping.
Right.
And now it seems like they fixed that. Not really fixed it, but they definitely made it more user friendly. Oh, you can also leave your welding torch on and put it away in your tool belt, and like you'll notice the glowing on the ground. If you do that, because it does have a tank inside, I can open it up. It's got 5,600 kPa pressure in it, which
Right.
is quite an obscene amount. But if that runs out, you can't weld anything anymore.
Hunger. Caution.
And I think I'm running out of food.
Chemical interest, psychically deaf. No injuries. Yeah, not too bad. It's Mr. Panda to you.
Light off. Light on.
Then you just weld some plastic, and then once you weld the plastic, you're good.
I love when they fall on the floor. They're like, asshole.
Iron, gold, copper. Another thing that could be kicking Chrono's ass is that you have furnaces in this game that exhaust, at really, you could be at a couple thousand degrees centigrade. And if you send that into a pipe that already has content, but you have it relatively cold, that heating volume expansion could really fuck you.
Yeah, well, I tried explaining the basics of refrigeration to him in the simplest form. I don't know if that's a topic that he's familiar with at all or not, but most people just they don't understand these things because they don't need to. Like Tuesday. While I was doing the interview, they had a guy who was working on a boiler, but he couldn't get the boiler to work again. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Well, I'll go over and I will. I'll go and help him on it." Right.
Right.
And he really, supposedly he's a journeyman, but he doesn't understand anything about how electricity works. I mean, it's just like, I hate to say it, but what the fuck did you do for your entire apprenticeship? What did they teach you? Oh, right, I forgot. Nobody gets taught anything anymore. Right? So these guys come along and they just don't have the technical knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a shame, because here's a guy, they all think that they got a gas ticket, right? He doesn't have a gas ticket for British Columbia, so he should not be doing gas work, right? Because it's illegal for him to do gas work without a ticket for that jurisdiction. Now they ain't gonna put him in jail, but the first fine's $2,000,
Mm.
right, for doing unlicensed work.
And they fine him or the company?
In this case, they would probably fine both.
Mm.
Right? It's a weird thing. Like this is where unions have their benefit, because your employer, and I've had it happen to me, oh, just do this thing. I'm like, dude, we're not allowed to do that. Just do it. I don't give a shit. Just fucking do it. Right? And it's like, I'm not allowed to do that. Oh, do it. I'm telling you to do it. Right? And so here's this argument going on. And now the employer can't back down because,
It's a power show.
it's a power struggle. Right? And this is one of the things that the unions actually do reasonably well, is they prevent these type of challenges. Where, well, the employer wants me to do this, but that's illegal. And I've had it on jobs. Oh, do this. You can't do that. That's wrong material. This is a flammable area. This must be all sealed fixtures. Well, I don't care. I want it done. Well, right? And that's a problem. And so it's going to be interesting. I was telling my friend of mine that's older, that always drives with me up island when we want to go on a road trip. Oh, what's going on? Oh, you opened the fucking door, you dumbass. What's your fucking malfunction, you piece of shit? Anyways, so yeah, I don't care. As far as I can tell, this company's in trouble that I'm going to work for. They're in trouble. They're circling the drain.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I'll fucking ride that Zeppelin right into the ground.
As long as they pay you.
As long as the paychecks don't bounce. That's right. And when they bounce, I down tools. But I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I've been through this shit before, right? And they want to be idiots. They can be idiots. I'm just, my biggest concern is that there's the owner, the manager, the office girl, and then there's one technician, and they're bringing me on part-time. And I'm just shaking my head going, there's no way. Okay, so a technician can barely pay for himself in this industry. How the fuck is he going to pay for himself and 3 other people?
Right.
So somewhere this company's losing money. Like, and I mean a lot. You just get fucking shot. You did. And now you've got a scar. You fucking card. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I don't give a shit. When he made his first offer of the wage, I just basically said, no, we're not doing this. And I said, I'll explain to you why. And I said to him, because you're going to pay me a certain amount, and one day I'm going to be working, somebody's going to come up and go, that's all they're paying you? I'll pay you more. And I said to this guy, and I said, then you and I have got a problem. You know, and it's so funny because he's like, oh, you know, like in my culture where we come from, you know, the workers are part of the business. And I'm thinking, shove your bullshit up your ass, you fucking piece of shit.
Right.
It's like, don't lie to me. You are just here to use us. And he's not the owner, he's the manager. But I guess they had somebody in there, and obviously due to the fact that the owner doesn't speak English so well, I think there was communication issues. And so she was trying to run the business the way she thought best. And that wasn't the way, well, it's so easy. Everybody blames the person that's not there anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just what people do. Oh, well, it's all their fault. And the thing is, I interviewed for the same position at the same company about a year earlier. And I think it's way too easy for these people to blame somebody else. What are they going to do when they have the same problems again and again and again? Right? I mean, remember, I ran a plumbing company for 12 years. Right? I don't think I'm a guru by any measure, but I ran a company for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not one, not two, not till my money ran out. I actually ran it till I burnt out.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about the people who used to work for you, the little Asian girl.
Yeah. But the funny enough, that is the funny thing is that the reason I burnt out was because I wasn't achieving the goals that I wanted. Right? So
You were just working for the sake of working and you wasn't getting nowhere.
that's right. And my goals were getting further and further away from me. And I think that's what burnt me out. The working and working with never seeing any return on it. You know, I figure, well, I mean, I believe it's a psychological thing, right? It just takes its toll on you when you realize that your effort is kind of wasted. So, yeah, but like, you know, and like the last kid, right? You know, didn't care. I made $2,600 working part-time for 1 month with them. That's all I needed. I just needed the money to get going. I got paid from a hotel today, booked my Airbnb, and
And away you go.
gonna be, what's that?
Away you go.
Well, yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. I mean, it'll be 5 days of work, but I'm going to have lots of time to relax, right? Because finish work at 3 o'clock, I figure I'll be up there by about 6. Right? It's only an hour and a half drive. Check into my place. Probably, I mean, maybe go for a drive, whatever. Or probably just sleep. You know, go out, find some food somewhere, and just take it easy. And then the following couple of nights will probably be looking at places to rent. And then I'm back here for 2 more days, and then my last Saturday and Sunday of work at the hotel. and that's it. Good news is I still get a check at the beginning of October, on the 7th of October, from the old job.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll be getting, what's that?
I was just saying, yeah.
I'll be getting 2 paychecks that week. So I'll be getting a paycheck for next week coming up. So that should put me back. Should put me back in the zone. Just it's going to be real tight going through the first of the month, but that's okay. It's not the end.
Right. I wonder if I can get this greenhouse put together before I start to death. So when you look at something that says total views for my Twitch, is that like total views of my channel all time?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
We'll pull out our labeler here. So basically the way I'm going to have this room work is I'm going to be running mostly passive venting. So one corner of the room, because the air actually matters. Like if I put the supply vent right next to the return vent, like eventually, air will build up in the far corners of the room, but it'll be mostly stagnant. The air won't flow.
Yeah, you'll short circuit it.
Basically, yeah.
So go diagonals, and if possible, go diagonal up and down also.
Right now, so it doesn't seem like when you're one tile high like this that going up and down doesn't matter. But definitely, I'm going diagonal. They both will be on the floor because it's going to be glass ceiling, greenhouse.
Right. Okay.
If it wasn't a greenhouse, I'd probably worry about that. But this one here, the close one, will be my return line. The other one will be my supply. Or I might swap them. I think I'll leave them like this. Doesn't really matter. Same piping. But basically, I'll have a back pressure valve on the return that'll constantly be trying to keep the room at 100 kilopascals. And then the other one will have a pressure regulator that'll constantly be trying to pump the room to 102. So they'll be fighting against each other slightly. And that'll keep cycling air through the room. In early game, typically what people will do is they'll just pump pure carbon dioxide into the greenhouse to get it running. And it'll probably be what I have to do. Start converting the useless stuff into that juicy oxygen that I need to survive. Just need some cabling, which we could put here. Luckily for me, they are quite generous on the amount of jetpack fuel they give you to start.
That's nice.
Because a lot of this stuff would be quite a pain to try to do without. Yeah, I didn't think I could do that. I think I was good. The lone wire that could. But yeah, but if I fly around inside a space with my jetpack on, it will exhaust. You know, I'll be contaminating the atmosphere with my jetpack exhaust.
Nice.
So it's possible, totally possible to, you know, if I'm not wearing a helmet, to like poison myself. And then they added really cool. They're DLCs right now, and I kind of get it because smaller companies like this one need the money to keep working on the game, you know. But they added one race you could play as robots where you don't have to worry about your oxygen, you know, breathing, but you're relying on power supply.
That's cool.
You know, I'm relying on power supply still. My suit needs a battery to keep my life support running, but the robots, you know, have a higher power drain. And then they added like a green alien that instead of breathing oxygen, they breathe in nitrogen or something, and they breathe out nitrous oxide.
Right.
Which, if you've ever been to a dentist, you know what nitrous oxide is. So what's funny is that if I'm a human and I'm in a room with those aliens, they could breathe out enough of that nitrous oxide to make my character actually go unconscious.
Yeah.
It's basically a thing to make it really hard to have a livable space that could house the both of us. Trying to put some racial divide into the game, basically. Hello, dog. Have you come to slap the table with your tail? No, let's put some more cables. Nope, not batteries. Cables, please. Oh, okay. I guess that does that.
Bobo has given birth. Aww. I've never seen a baby deer before in RimWorld. It's got spots. That's so cute.
I can't believe that.
I'm slowly making a box around this turret.
The hostile turret or your turret?
The hostile turret, yeah. The hostile turret. Yeah, the one at the hostel. Oh, who's starving? Hey, Macker, you smacker. Fuck out! I gotta call some of these critters.
On mine and Benny's game, I really liked it because one of the biggest downsides to me, and I think I would like playing with Chrono because it'd probably be the same deal, almost like Factorio. I would be building the base while Benny went out and gathered all the resources for me, and he'd help out with the base building like here and there. But like all the complex, heavy base systems, I would design and build, and he would just be my miner, which I'm totally cool with. You would probably like this game, Milan.
To be honest with you, you know what it looks like?
Work.
It looks like Space Engineers.
Oh, it is. Except I would say this game's just They say that the simulation level in this game is much harder, more realistic. Do you have
Yeah,
Space
that's
Engineers? Do you have Space Engineers, Noah?
Yep.
I pirated the game, but I just couldn't. Like, I could design the systems, I just couldn't make a ship that looked good. Like, I could build a ship, just not a good looking.
I never could seem to get the stuff to work. Like when you tried to connect a set of wheels to a cockpit, I never could get the switches to control correctly.
Hmm. Did Space Engineers have an atmospheric simulation with it? I don't think it does, right?
No, not really.
I thought Space Engineers you had to have oxygen stored though.
Yeah, I think you have to have it stored for your engine or something. Is that dead? Is that circuit dying every night? Not really the biggest deal, but I'd prefer if it didn't die every night. Oh, that's right, I can't combine the two. Another thing that sucks, I really need to just bite the bullet and make a fabricator. More iron. Worth it. One of the biggest things I hate about this game is the tedious resource micromanagement early on. Like I said, oh, you want to build this? Okay, you got to pull all the resources out of this machine and walk to this machine 2 steps away and put them in there. But and you kind of have to like manually stop it and start it. But I'm building a fabricator right now. Once that's built, you hook a computer to it, and it's a little bit better. It can't craft 100% of everything, but it can craft mostly everything. And you can tell it to like say craft like 10 cables, then stop, and craft like X. Okay.
What in the world was that?
My poor cat who has respiratory problems sneezing.
Oh.
He's had respiratory problems since he was a kitten. I don't want to walk her. Here? So here.
Ah, you fucking dumbass. I like how the door opens and it just flings the thing out.
Let's see here. Let's put this here. Another thing that's neat about this game, Alon, if you got, I don't know if you still have my stream open, but if you have a second to take a look. When you store things, they actually like are in slots.
You can see them inside containers. Yeah.
Right. There's no like real. The only thing that have interfaces are crafting machines. You can build rovers and like hook these chests, this crate I'm looking at, this yellow thing, and like drive around, mine up stuff, and throw it in here, and drive on back to your base. They're adding mining machines, but they are little mining robots that you can just autonomously program to go out for you. But for right now, for testing stages, they're only going to be creative mode only. You can't spawn them in survival. Basically, if they do that because if it breaks your world, people can't go rage at them like, I had 800 hours in this world and this thing broke it. It's like, well, you know, this is a creative world. You spawned everything anyways. You know.
Hmm.
This is a little bit bigger than I remember.
Man, I got shot. Hmm. Electro print. Second of April.
Hunger. Caution.
Yeah. Oh. Pico lost his shit. It's a chrono. We're playing Stationeers.
Really?
Well, okay, I'm not playing, but Kenny is, and I'm watching him play.
Yep.
Yeah, he sent me a message earlier asking me if I was playing. I had the game paused. I was working. Well, I did a little bit of a test on my life support system.
Did it explode?
You know, I don't know where its pressure thresholds are though. Of course, I didn't put a whole lot of. I'm not pumping a lot into it at the moment. I'm still trying to gather up the ices I need in order to melt down and fill up my tank.
What planet are you on?
Mars.
I think Mars is the easiest one.
No, I would call Europa, except for the cold.
Europa can be hard because that battery just gets ripped through.
I always stick my batteries inside and make sure the room is heated so it doesn't drain my battery.
Yeah, as long as you do that, you'll be okay. So is the new world out yet where you can't even use a welding torch without exploding?
Yes. You're floating around a black hole.
Big bada boom.
I mean, you're working in an atmosphere of like pure hydrogen. Damn near.
Big bada boom.
Yeah, at least now the only part that I've tested so far is to see if my filtration works, and my filtration is doing exactly what I need to do. Once I've built up enough pressure, once I've actually filled my small tanks up, then I should be able to start piddling around with my settings on my on the life support portion of it and see about getting it pumping the filler.
Good.
Didn't have any issues with the life support so far, but I will tell you this: I did push too much power through my airlocks. Ended up frying my airlock wiring and locking myself in the airlock.
Nice.
The bolts were closed on it, so I wasn't able to freaking force the doors open to deconstruct one of my walls in order to get.
Did you say something to me? If you did, you cut out.
He said it was funny, man. You think I'm funny? Funny, huh?
They have uranium in the game, which means nuclear power eventually, but it's not the nuclear power is not yet implemented. Most people just use
You can use it to make nuclear batteries.
Yeah, but that's just a higher capacity battery is all it is. I'm more interested in nuclear power. And cables that can hold more power than the heavy cables can.
So far, I've not had to worry about frying my heavy cable.
I'm trying to figure out what resource I'm missing.
Didn't get shot. Nice. Not the sniper rifle, you bastard. Beavers.
But yeah, I'm actually quite confident that my new mod support setup will result in me not creating a crater in Mars and being able to actually survive with myself.
Nice.
Jetpack on. Power low.
Let's see how this goes now. Ah, I got shot. Come on, finish it up.
Vulcan's gonna be aggravating though because temperatures can get up over 600 degrees Celsius.
Means shit. You can't even have windows at that temperature.
Do what?
You can't even have windows at that temperature. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things that you're building underground, and you want to get rid of any volatiles out of your base, far away from your base when you're trying to vent it off, because otherwise you're just going to create a big flamethrower on.
I mean, as long as you build it to frames, they're basically indestructible. Frames and blast doors handle any pressure or temperature you want to. Well, I think that's it for me for the night. Trying to catch up on some sleep.
All right, well, we'll talk to you later, man.